Hey guys, it's Enemies Up here back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a fanfic called The Fox, Chapter 1. I'm only going to be doing one chapter, and I'm going to be using the audiobook because I broke my mic, as like you can see throughout the video. The quality is worse than it used to be before, but it's alright. So yeah, I'm going to use the audio recorder on this. So yeah, see you guys at the end of the video.
Orderly sunny day in the town of Uzushio. A young 4-year-old blonde boy with 3 whisker markings on each cheeks was running for his life. Behind him were 3 boys who were the same age as him despite their height being a few inches taller than the blonde. The one that was being chased is named Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. "Don't let him get away," shouted one of the bullies. Naruto kept running and running until the overweight boy caught him by the collar of his shirt and threw him on the ground. This allowed the boys to beat up the poor blonde. Naruto didn't fight back. He wanted to, but he didn't. Meanwhile, in the Namikaze residence, Kushina Uzumaki was washing dishes in the kitchen all alone in the house as she was humming a lovely tune. She was 28 years old. She had a slender, but feminine build figure, fair skin, violet eyes, and fiery red hair that fell to her waist length with strands that framed both sides of her face. She wears a high-collared, sleeveless blouse under a long, loose-fitting dress. The whole dress was underneath by a green apron. Her humming and washing the dishes interrupted her when the sound of a door opens, followed by the sound of her son. "Mom, I'm home." Hearing the voice of her 4-year-old son, Kushina walks out from the kitchen and smiled warmly. "Naruto, I didn't know you'll be." Before she could say more, she stared in shock of her son, Naruto. The 4-year-old blonde boy was wearing a navy green t-shirt that had an orange swirl on the front and a pair of shorts. He also wears a small green goggles with the name Naruto on top of them. The goggles was located on his forehead. The small kid had bruises on his face, including a black eye in one of his cerulean eyes and small purple bruise on his left whiskered cheek. His t-shirt was mostly ripped and his small shorts was a mess, covered with dirt and his own blood. Kushina crouched to her son's height and quickly cried as she was about to have a heart attack. "Oh, my Kami. Naruto, not again." Naruto looked at her with his blue eyes, replying, "Mom, it's okay." "No, it's not. Why do you always let those boys hit you?" "I don't know. I wanted to fight back, but I couldn't. I tried running away, but they always caught me." Kushina let out a big sigh before saying, "Good lord. Come on, Naruto. Let's get you all cleaned up." She lifted his son with her 2 hands and carried him to the bathroom. She was always this protective to Naruto and vowed to hurt anyone who dares messes with her son. She throws a fit against the parents of the bullies who hurt Naruto and threatened to kick their asses or worse. However, her husband, Minato, always keeping her gently calm whenever she's in her killing state. This sort of thing happens to Naruto every day. When Naruto gets bullied by the other boys or anyone, Minato was always there for his son and give him some advice to help him. Usually, the advice sometimes work or not. In the bathroom, Kushina turned on the hot water from the bath as Naruto took off his shirt. As he was undressing, his mother sweetly said, "Don't worry, honey. Your father will be here very soon. I hope very soon. That man is always working so later." Minato is always working late on his job. He works as a scientist in a military base. Sometimes, he comes home late at night. Kushina didn't understand why was her husband must work every late on his project. He used to talk about it to her right before Naruto was born, but not anymore. However, all in all, she still loves him with all her heart. Later that night, Naruto was on his bed in his orange pajamas as his legs were underneath the bed covers. Right beside him was a small lamp being lit up despite that the lights in his room is already on. He has a large bandage on his damaged left cheek. He was holding a small phones on his ears. The song he was listening to is Right Here Waiting by Richard Marx. You're still awake listening to that device of yours, son? Naruto took off his headphones and see his father standing at the doorway on his room. Minato Namikaze is a 28-year-old blonde with jaw-length bangs framing from each side of the face and bright blue eyes. The man is also wearing a blue t-shirt, blue jeans and blue sandals. I like it, Dad. Mom gave it to me last year, smiled Naruto. The young gentleman chuckled. I have no idea why your mother insisted on giving you this Walkman since you're still just a baby. Hey, I'm not a baby, Datebeo. Minato laughed at bit by his son's verbal tick. When he first met Kushina as a child, he couldn't help but laugh at his wife's verbal tick whenever she gets very excited. This, of course, resulted a few beatings from Kushina. But in the end, she warmed up to him. The blonde's father goes over to him and patted him on top of his son's golden hair. I know, Naruto, he smiled. So your mother told me that you got beat up again. Yes, Naruto sadly admitted. I try to run from them, but they always capture me. Minato sat on his son's bed and replied as he patted Naruto's golden hair. Well, you just have to run faster. For the rest of my life? Yes, but number, continued Minato. You can run faster, but not for the rest of your life. Whenever someone threatens you or those who are precious to you, you have to start standing up against those boys who beat you. But Dad, how do I do that? You just have to believe in yourself. Naruto, believe in yourself. I don't know if I can, Dad. Then you just have to try harder. Geez, thanks Dad, muttered sarcastically Naruto, making his own father chuckle in a sweat drop. Good lord, Minato, is that the best advice you can give to our son? Asked a familiar voice. Minato turned around, with Naruto looking, only to see Kushina standing on the doorway with her arms crossed and a playful smirk on her face, making the husband chuckle again with nervousness, increasing the sweat drop on the back on his head. And what's this about you bringing up the subject of Naruto's Walkman? Added Kushina as she entered the room, walking to her husband and son. Oh, you hear that? Well, sweetheart, I just don't think of you giving Naruto a Walkman to listen music. I mean, our son is 4 years old. He's still a baby. Kushina pouted in the same way as her son. Hey, he's not a baby, Databane. Naruto nodded his head in agreement. Suddenly, Kushina's eyes spark in stars before declaring, he's my adorable little fox. She then started to cuddle the right side of Naruto's whiskered cheek in admiration, rubbing up and down. Naruto cried as a small blush was feeling up. Come on, Mom. Oh, I just can't help it. Your whiskers are so adorable, I just want to rub them against them. Databane. Minato laughed at the scene before pulling his wife out from her weird, but cute, obsession of rubbing Naruto's whiskers. Kushina cleared her throat before replying to her husband anyway. Minato, I think that it'll be a good idea that for our son to hear some of the songs we used to listen back when we were young. In fact, a small grin was formed from her face. You used to love some of those songs that drove us a bit wild. Databane. Minato's cheeks started to form red from his wife's smile and the remembrance. Naruto stares at their parents with confusion before asking what were the songs. Mom and Dad. Stuttered Minato, still blushing. I'll tell you about it when you're older, Naruto. Naruto, As much as I don't want to agree of what your father is saying about you running away from them and believing in yourself, I have one thing as a mother to her little fox. If you want to not get being beaten up again like last time, you'll just have to go faster. And by going faster, I mean, make sure to swing your fist very hard and pray those bullies have ended up outside of the city. Kushina grinned as she clenches a fist in excitement. Minato groaned as he face-palmed. Oh, boy. Naruto laughed at his mother's excitement. Okay, I will, Mom. That's my little fox, smiled the mother as she placed a small kiss on top of his son's golden hair. Minato declared, well, if no one has anything to say, I guess we should hit the hay. Kushina took away Naruto's Walkman and put them in a small drawer right beside the blonde. Minato turned off the lamp before he and his wife both headed out of the room. Standing outside, Minato said to Naruto, good night, Naruto. Naruto smiled, good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. Good night, Naruto. We love you, added Kushina. I love you too, guys. With that said, Kushina flipped off the light switch and closed the door behind her. Naruto closes his cerulean eyes before falling asleep. Suddenly, a large noise was erupted, scaring the blonde to death, awaking him from his sleep. Naruto looked at the scene from his window and saw that most of the houses from his neighborhood were either on fire or destroyed. There were people running through the streets, yelling and screaming their heads off. From his room, Naruto feels the entire house is shaking very violently. His stuffs were moving by themselves by the shake. Naruto was scared. He didn't know what he is supposed to do. His thoughts of the earthquake was interrupted when he heard a woman's scream. From hearing that scream, Naruto quickly recognized that scream. Mom. Naruto jumped out from his bed and left the bedroom in a flash. He climbed down the stairs and saw the source of the screaming in the living room. He stood there in shock of what he was seeing. There, in the middle of the living room mat, stood Kushina Uzumaki. She was on her knees as there was a red-orange energy forming around her. When Kushina saw her son, standing right in front of her eyes, she screamed, Naruto. Mom shouted, Naruto. Naruto, you have to get away. What's happening? Naruto, don't come any closer. Not wanting to listen to his mother, Naruto took a few steps to try to get closer to his mom. As he was about 5 feet from her, the red-orange energy have formed into a blurred spirit of the outline of a man who was looking at its victim. From behind him formed 9 tails. The spirit's eyes glow dark-eye at him before suddenly roar with all its might, making the young blonde scared. Naruto was suddenly put away from the energy and was now face to face with his father, crying, Dad. Minato shouted as he put his hands on Naruto's shoulders, Naruto, you have to get out of here. What about Mom? Don't worry, I'll save her. You have to go and get as far away from here. Naruto had tears were forming from his eyes. But Dad. Run, Naruto. Run. Look out, shouted Kushina. Both of the Namake's men look as the man with 9 tails swinging its arm with greater force. The swing have created a huge wave, causing the two of them to fly across the room. Minato landed into a huge cabinet, knocking him out. Naruto lands against the wall with his back before dropping on the ground. Naruto, with only a few strength left in him, managed to keep on seeing his trapped mother inside the red-orange hurricane. The 4-year-old blonde extended a small hand to her mother, trying to get her attention. Mom shouted, Naruto. Mom. Kushina didn't hear her son calling out to her. She was kept seeing of what she described as impossible for her. She was trapped and scared. not knowing what to do. She was afraid of what the man that was swimming around the energy with its 9 tails right inside the hurricane. As soon as the man raised its hand up in the air and laying out another roar, indicating for what it about to do next, all Kushina did was lay out a final scream at the top of her lungs. Mom shouted Naruto as he matches the scream of his mother's last scream.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next part of the Fox. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.